like my Jenny. Run the game, I suggest that you get floor seats. Might not leave with everything, but we for sure get a piece. Fix it up, put it on the streets. If I ain't in my 6'4", then my Benz creep up and down the street. Run to the money, can't nothing else get me on my feet. We ain't even gotta watch for police. It's legal now, they allow us to grow trees. My hotel suite describe the definition of chic. Trying not to ash on the sheets. Got a balcony we won't see. 30 mil a year, still trying to be low key. And that's just me, not even to mention my OG. Get money before we dip, then we proceed. It's funny how niggas get. We don't do it lest the whole gang benefit. We stone gentlemen.
Money is the mission, it's real over bitches. Standing in the way, fucking man, whoever with them. Pull up on her and she make a decision to get in. Yeah, your girl hella talkative round rich niggas. Room full of hitters and you swear can't get in. Moving through the air, ain't shrimp in the Gulf Stream. She in the mirror for hours, hoping that she gets seen with us. Your girl hella talkative round rich niggas. Hustle is all I know, spend it and get some more. I'm staying on the go, hoping it don't get slow. I'm on the paper route with my folks, ain't part of this game a joke. Wrap it up like a brick of coke, call it play like a give and go. Ballin' for real, toss the alley-oop off the pick and roll, rolling 100 spokes gold. My Rolex frozen. Have you ever seen $250,000 rolling, being driven like it's stolen by a stoner? One of the originals who showed you fools how to turn the internet rhymes into residuals. I put away a whole lot of loot and stayed true. That's what we do. Make it easy to choose. So guess what? You wondering why she getting all dressed up? You in the house messed up, all stressed for what? Hustle is the only thing gon' keep your lights on. Fuck love, money is the mission. It's real over bitches. If you standing in the way, fuck them and whoever with them. Pull up on her and she make a decision to get in. Yeah, your girl hella talkative round rich niggas. Room full of hitters and you squares can't get in. Moving through the air, eating shrimp in the Gulf Stream. She been in the mirror for hours, hoping she gets seen with us. Your girl hella talkative round rich niggas. Yeah.
What's happening, players? Last night we got into some bullshit with DC and Sam, and while that was going on, I had no idea that YoMama and Peanut were going at it, which is fucking great for me because I love going over the bad arguments that Peanut loves to use. Anytime she has any interaction with anyone, it's fucking hilarious. Even when she's sitting there with Gaining Ground and they're doing a whole back and forth, he gets so tired of her. That shit is hilarious. I don't know how, like, that doesn't make anybody laugh. Sure in the fuck makes me laugh. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Basically. So, I thought that, oh shit, forgot to turn that off. Oh well. So I thought that it would be fun to go over a little bit of this. I know some of y'all at work, some of you are probably at lunch, most of you are on the East Coast, so probably not. But let's get into this bullshit. Now I sound like DC, huh? Bullshit. Ugh. Alright, let's go. Let's get it. Chill blood. The Carnicetia. Yeah, and don't forget to like the stream and sub if you have not.
Similarly, motherfucker, what now? What? I can't even handle this shit. I can't.
Educated. People have shared resources with her and told her and explained why Goblin has historically been used by the oppressors of Jewish people to describe them in an anti-Semitic way. Those things.
I don't even like the way he fucking phrases things.
Because he's manipulative.
So uneducatedly, so condescendingly, and I know this is all a performance fucking piece.
Is Peanut talking about herself? Because everything that you say is very uneducated. Like, I know that you can research this. I know you ain't went to school or nothing, like, and it kind of pisses me off when you talk about things that you think that you know about. But I might surprise you guys today, folks. Just watch.
I was gonna say he's trying
When it
he's
comes
trying
to
to
my
make a
opinion
sale
on Peanut.
He's literally trying to make a sale here. He's convincing. He doesn't believe what the fuck he's talking about. He's convincing you.
Yo, mama.
Yeah.
What up?
Is that really your mom?
My grandma asleep, but I'm gonna come up here real quick. Shh. Don't wake up. Don't wake up.
Wait,
All
are
right.
you visiting somewhere?
Huh?
Are you on vacation? Are you visiting somewhere?
Shh.
He's super
Wait,
lying right
I'm gonna
now.
wake her up.
Taylor Noir says, I just want to know if Peanut thinks black people can say the N-word since she polices things minorities can say. I would love for her to come to a family function of mine and tell everybody that they need to stop saying nigga so we can all laugh in her face in unison with drinks in our hands while some of us smoke blunts. Very stereotypical, right? But that's how it goes at these family functions.
Oh, I don't
Grandma,
know anymore.
stay quiet.
I'm going up here. I'm too stoned.
No, I want to say though, first of all, Tweeted T said that she was laughing about.
It's Tweet T. God, your mama fucks up everything. I swear this nigga can't read. Like, this is a prime example of how the LA school systems have failed all of us.
Yaba putting up that death thing on Peanut, which is crazy. But hey, man, I mean, to each its own. You know what I'm saying? So, but I want to say though, off the rip, like, I think you kind of wrong on the whole the goblin thing. I think you way off.
I know you disagree. I saw a short clip. You're allowed to disagree. We're allowed to disagree.
But what I'm saying is, it's not that she pointed the goblin thing towards FFG. It's her community post where she said in her community post, she said goblin is not anti-Semitic. Matter of fact, Jewish people, she Wikipedia did, and goblin is not a term that's offensive to Jewish people. The thing is, what I'm saying is, you can't talk for a Jewish person being a white woman from Canada. There's no fucking way.
No,
that's
but
like a white person speaking for a black person, saying like, "Oh, monkey and gorilla."
But wait, your mama, don't.
Now, the way that this is different, and I'm gonna have to side with Peanut on this one. This is why I said that this might actually surprise y'all. When I actually looked it up, there has been I couldn't find anything on a historical record of Jewish people being called goblins. Now, what I did see is that some of the traits of goblins have been attributed to Jewish people, in a sense, right? But I couldn't per se find like goblin as a slur for Jewish people, and I looked high and I looked low. So Peanut's she's not wrong on this one. I also couldn't find anything, to be fair.
Don't you think it's an important distinction for her to make that she did not mean it in that way? I think it's important for her to make that distinction.
She was told multiple times by Jewish people that it is offensive. I've read textbooks when I was growing up. I read textbooks on the Holocaust, and I read textbooks that showing that the way the Nazi German, Hitler and the Germans, the way they manipulated and they brainwashed their people by using old European literature to basically paint Jewish people as goblins, big-nosed goblins that would sneak in your house in the night, eat your children, and steal your gold. That's the propaganda that was being spewed during to brainwash German people to believing that Jewish people can be executed, killed, and gas chambered. Anytime a group of people use certain propaganda to bring down another group of people, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't. If a certain group of people feel offended by certain words, you should respect that. Period.
I don't necessarily agree with that. If it's kind of like with the whole thing that happened with with the Tina broad, and she was saying that it was racist for them to call her a llama or be like, "Go get your dinner, you fat lard," when it was just a movie reference. And she was saying that comparing black people to animals is just racist. Just because Tina's black doesn't mean that that's necessarily the case. I don't agree at all. I've never heard a black person being called a llama and somebody attributing that to racism. Just because we're black doesn't mean we have some special exempt powers to where, you know, we can't be made fun of the same way as everybody else. Now, there are certain words, and YoMama had brought this up specifically about like the monkey thing, right? Now, you can say per se that, you know, there's a black person who looks like a monkey or something like that, but if somebody warns you like, hey, this is perceived as racist. Now, the same comparison would be if somebody said that you had the same features and habits of a monkey but didn't necessarily call you one, and they've never called black people that outright monkeys, right, or anything that way, then that would be the same thing. But because people have outright called black people monkeys, if somebody is sitting there talking about black people peeling bananas and things like that, obviously they're being racist, right? But I'm not necessarily sure if it's the same thing because they didn't necessarily call them goblins. But there was propaganda where they did attribute, like I said earlier, certain characteristics of goblins to Jewish people.
So here's the thing, YoMama, you are 100% morally consistent on these type of issues, and I respect that.
Llama ass
You
niggas
are
in the
somebody
house.
who I've never gotten the feeling that you do this in a performative way. So I take your words and your opinions very differently than I do a lot of these other motherfuckers that I hear. And I respect your opinion, but I absolutely disagree. And I personally am extremely educated when it comes to World War II, specifically Nazi Germany propaganda.
Now remember that she says this. She says she's well versed on World War II Nazi Germany propaganda. And you would think that she would know, if she was well versed, that Jewish people were given attributes that were similar to goblins. You would think that she would also bring up how Germany's Great Depression also brought about the rise to Hitler, because he used them because they were a merchant class. I think that's been explained to me by somebody who is Jewish, saying that, you know, that was one of the lanes that Jewish people could skate by, and they were often ridiculed because when the country's doing bad and they're doing pretty good because they sell goods and services, people turn to them and say that they're taking all the money. Right? You would think that you would give a little bit of context rather than just telling somebody that they're wrong. It would probably be better to explain how they're wrong. These are things that attributed more as propaganda to the whole thing about displacing Jewish people in Germany, is the fact that Germany wasn't doing too hot after World War I. I don't know if you know the whole story, but they weren't doing too well, and Hitler took a chance to blame it on somebody, and people fed into it.
And
Okay,
I have put forth a task to anybody who can provide me absolute concrete proof of goblins being used as anti-Semitic epithets.
But Marty says monkey is a slur for us too. If we're called yellow monkeys, otherwise within us, monkeys are monkeys, no problem. I did not know that. We learned about new racism every day.
In World War II Germany, because I came across I was shared an article that the only image that I had personally seen in the past was an artist's rendering based on faulty translation that they took several liberties with. So I have put forth a task. Just provide me, because if this is so commonplace, the propaganda was everywhere. It is documented everywhere. If it is so commonplace, it will be very easy for you to provide proof. And
what propaganda? What you said you well versed. What propaganda? What propaganda did you see that the Nazi Germans used on Jewish people when they posted posters on walls? What did you see?
When I had researched this myself, I came across a picture and I could only find one. And
No. They did multiple pamphlets and propaganda. What did you see? What photos did you see?
Now, this is the part where I think Yo Mama might be full of shit, because I sat there and I looked myself and I ain't seen pamphlets or nothing. What I seen were movie titles. There was a movie by Goebbels, however the fuck you say his name. I'm not well versed in World War II myself, to be honest. But it didn't take nothing but a quick search to figure all this stuff out. There was a movie that he had brought up and dropped in Germany. Apparently, from how the records went, it wasn't really a box office smash, but it was a propaganda piece that he had dropped out. And the picture, and there were multiple pictures like this, where they would show, you know, a Jewish person kind of with a big nose, you know, evil looking, you know, hunched down like that, bald at the top, kind of looked like Gargamel, like, as we were talking about yesterday, like Gargamel with long hair, like Count Olaf from Lemony Snicket, right? Like Jim Carrey. But other than that, I haven't really seen too much. Like, yeah, in the depiction, yes, but I think Peanut may be getting a little bit too. Is Goebbels? Okay, gracious. I have no idea. Like I said, I don't really pay attention too much to all that. But I think Peanut is getting hung up on the fact that the word goblin wasn't extensively or specifically used. But it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, that's not basically what they're calling them. But she is right in saying that there is no historical context to that being a trope, because even when I looked up Jewish slurs just on its own to see if I could just find it pop up, nothing came up specifically about the word. I found a couple other words, but not exactly that. Nova says, I think it was more about the imagery, not so much the name itself. They may not have necessarily been called goblins, but from what I've seen, it was just how they were depicted. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. The attributes, and that's what Yo Mama's explaining right now. The attributes of a goblin, what goblins are known to be and what they're for, in a sense, they've attributed those same characteristics to Jewish people. And Peanut's getting hung up on the fact that it wasn't explicitly said that they were goblins, right? So I don't know. I think I would have to learn a little bit more about this. Like I said before, I'm not too well versed when it comes to World War II and the whole Hitler thing. I'm not a white nationalist or anything, so I haven't sat there and dove deep into the whole Hitler thing. Maybe I should do a little bit more on it, but I can see where both sides are coming from, basically.
Provide me.
Why would we have to provide you if you're well versed? You would know the propaganda that they use. So tell me what propaganda did the...
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Not in regards to goblins. I'm telling you.
Right, Lynn. It was more of an implication, right? Saying it without saying it.
You have
okay. That doesn't exist. What propaganda did the Nazis use to brainwash their people? And posters and pamphlets. What were on those posters and pamphlets? What did you see?
A bunch of different things.
Okay, but like name a specific one.
The one that I know is actually factually accurate is, most people can probably picture this. It is an over dramatized cartoon drawing where the facial features of the person are absolutely enlarged and over exaggerated. That is the common picture, and that is not a goblin. That is a grotesque depiction of what's supposed to be a Jewish man. So I am asking.
Now Peanut is just being ignorant at this point. That's what you just described. I started thinking of Courage the Cowardly Dog. There's an episode of Courage where he's late on bringing back a book, right, from the library. the hell? And he misses a book from the library, and it's about a like a fairy and a troll, and how they go at each other or whatever. And Eustace, the old man, he turns into a troll, and he gains those specific features: the big ears, the big nose, the long face. It's very iconic. Like, if you were to show me a picture, like if on Spider-Man, the Hobgoblin, the Green Goblin, it's very descriptive on how exactly goblins look. I'm just saying. Xena says, yes, they were called merchants. The imagery very similar to those of a goblin. Over time, it was used as a metaphor and then semantically changed when using the word as a descriptor towards Jewish people. What's going on, J-Mag? I have no idea what a Galawag doll is. What is that? Galawag doll? I don't know.
If it is as commonplace that goblins were used, I want proof provided to me. I want to learn. If I
and we definitely will, but you do
provide it.
You do. We will, but you do know that that goblins in European literature that was used in an offensive way to paint those characters, those big nose, big teeth, big everything. Those they in European literature, they were calling them goblins. You know that, right?
Wait, are you trying to?
So, thank you, Who's, for the Cash App. He says, I think the translation was cobalt, but similar. I think he means for gremlin. I'm sorry, for goblin. I was listening to this earlier. Hooves also says, here's where I take issue with Beauty Beauty saying what she did. Goblins are scrawny little weasel looking bastards. They're not thick fat faced behemoths.
Are you trying to say that the creation of goblins in general?
No, I didn't say the creation of goblins. I said they painted the picture. They were already goblins, but they used goblins against Jews in early literature, European literature. They used the word goblin, and they considered Jews to be goblins.
Yes, I understand that. That's
okay. You understand that? That's a fact.
No, listen.
That's not a claim. That's a fact.
No, you can't listen, yo mama. You can't just say that's a fact. You have You have to provide proof.
I will, but I'm not throwing that up on my screen. I will.
I'm a pretty thorough person. Before I even made these statements, I did some heavy research. Heavy research. So if you can find things, if you can find sources that I'm unable to find, I would appreciate if you would provide me them. I would love to learn.
I wish Peanut was like this back when she used to be around Negs and they had the whole anti-hater thing, because she went on a whole rampage against the Geek Room and a couple other people, I think Drag, and she had absolutely no proof of it, and she just kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and speaking about it as if it were fact. And you can pretty much relate this to anything else that Peanut basically does when it comes to her alien streams or all this other stuff. She picks and chooses when she needs hardcore proof and evidence for the things that's in discussion. I was going to say that she talks about, but you know.
I will definitely, but I mean, I can't have a conversation with somebody who doesn't even know early European literature painted Jewish people as goblins.
So Nova says, it was the imagery. She couldn't have done heavy research and not seen that imagery. Exactly, because as soon as I had looked into it, the first things I found were the movies, and I found the imagery. BGTV says, one time Peanut was saying something was a fact in her opinion. I almost fell down when I heard that. Yeah, something can't be a fact in your opinion. Those are... I always have to explain this. A fact is the sky is blue. or there's it's white right now, whatever, right? Whatever color it is at the time. The sky is blue. That's a fact. If you go outside and look at it, I'm pretty sure most people can look up and be like, oh my God, it's blue. Unless you're colorblind, there's some other defining factor, right? Now, an opinion is blue skies are my favorite skies, are the best skies. Sunset is when the sky looks the prettiest, and some people might think that it looks better when it's blue. Those are opinions. Those are something that's only true to you. You might think that that's the most beautiful thing, but that's not something that's just a fact for everybody else. We can all agree on the color, but I guarantee you we're not going to agree on what's the best.
Hey, if you don't know that much, that's crazy.
Give me an example.
It is
give me an offer.
They would put it. Did you not see what happened to Rowling and Harry Potter?
So here's the other thing too. When I looked it up, one of the main things that popped up over and over again was the J.K. Rowling thing about goblins and Harry Potter. Other than that, I didn't see anything else. It was only the Harry Potter stuff. That's it. I couldn't really find anything else that related like goblins except for characteristics, and I didn't even find that from searching up goblins. I actually figured that out from the J.K. Rowling stuff.
Are
you trying to say that
JW had to an apology? I'm going towards what, because I think you're not well versed in it. I think you're just like you're just kind of like as far as it was very controversial to use in certain movies, and certain writers and certain people were cast that got banned and got ridiculed by using the Jewish as goblins thing, and it was told to them that it was used early in European literature that they would talk about Jews as goblins.
Okay, but what I'm asking you,
right,
provide a source. What book, what early literature did they use these goblins, these mythical creatures, and right, to make them with Jews?
I mean, I saw a bunch of it. I've read a bunch of it when I was literally in high school.
Post it,
and
post it
and I will post it. I will. There's been a bunch of them. People posting it on
people
Twitter.
in chat. I think somebody in chat just said that they posted it in chat. Post it on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
But like I said, okay, yeah, look at that. But like I said,
nobody's
early
providing
literature.
Anything. Nobody has provided a fucking thing.
We definitely. I've already seen a lot of it on Twitter, and I've read it when I was in high school. But earlier, but that's what. But that was
high school. What book did you read?
That's another good point, Vidal. She never has a source, but demands it from others. Never has a source. Never shows anything that she talks about. Her main thing is getting on here and just talking.
Bro, I read that that's Hitler used early European literature that depicted Jews as goblins to use as propaganda.
Yo, Mama, I have to tell you something.
In German, in World War II.
Listen, you made a claim that I'm not well versed in these topics. You are showing me that it's you who's not well versed. Hitler,
okay, talk to me.
Do you know who was the propagandist, the person who made and distributed propaganda? It was not Hitler himself. It was Goebbels. So it's you who don't know what you're talking about.
You sound like somebody who witnessed a murder and it was their friend and they're all in the gang. And he's like, I ain't shoot that nigga, the homie shot him. Is that supposed to make me think that you wouldn't shoot people too? You was next to this nigga who shoots. Makes me think you about to shoot somebody too. You was fine with it. The only reason why you even telling me because you got caught. You think that Hitler had no ties to propaganda in the country that he was running at all? Okay.
And the fact
wait. Before Hitler even met him, he was making speeches. he was making speeches, and he was arrested, and he was arrested for those speeches, and he got out of jail because
So are
the
you
Nazi
trying to
propaganda
allege-
judges. But he
So
was
are you trying
already
to-
making those.
Wait,
He was
are you trying
already-
to allege that in those speeches,
Yes.
he somehow mentioned goblins in relation.
Yes, he referred to early European literature as Jews being goblins, and they will eat your children and steal your gold. That's how he came in. Yes.
Hitler never said that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, he did.
No, Mama,
He referred to.
Hitler
Yes.
never said that out of his mouth ever.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, I am very well
Okay.
educated when it comes to World War II, especially Nazi Germany.
Even when I looked it up into relation with Nazis, I didn't find much, and I thought like Hitler would have popped up or something. Maybe I should have put in Hitler specifically, but I didn't see anything either, to be honest.
Those words, in fact, Hitler was incredibly careful to make sure words like that never came out of his mouth.
He was. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Hitler literally was not going before he started the Nazi? Well, the Nazi Party was already forming, but when he was going into.
Oh, Taylor Noir says the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum disagrees, and I have the link. Please drop that link. Please, if you will. We will definitely go over that right now. Let's get educated.
Speeches to a group of people that he wasn't spitting early European literature that was defaming Jews as goblins. Is that what you're saying? That he was careful.
Peanut speaks
Provide me
German.
the clip of Hitler doing
Hitler was
exactly what you
careful.
just claimed.
All right, let's pause that. See, is it gonna pop up over here? Let's see. Oh, yeah, it is. Let's go here. 500 years of anti-Semitic propaganda. There's them as pigs. The dehumanization of Jews. So to around which line does the whole goblin thing pop up on? That's what we need right now. The Cats and Threnthal collection. This nigga name was Cats. Scroll the pictures. Okay. Do I click explore this collection? I think I do. Let's see, folks. We're gonna find out. Comic painting of two Orthodox Jews fighting. Am I gonna be in on the list after watching this? Oh, he's grabbing his nose and it's huge. Ooh. Ouch. Woo. Whoa, buddy. Let's hope some of these aren't too much. Please don't get me in trouble already. Caricature of Philip de Rothschild as a weeping eagle nailed to a wall. Skip that one. Francis Shame. That says Nazi directly on it. Let's probably not click that. Do you have a specific picture? Go back and look at a picture 5 out of 5 at the top. Okay. Let's go back. Oh, okay. That's 2. That's 3. It's a Jew with dentures. That's 4. It's a board game. And I hope you mean after this one. Read the denture one too. Is it bad if I laugh? I'm sorry. That was fucking hilarious. So the denture one says, anti-Jewish hatred has pervaded Western art, politics, and popular culture for centuries. Perceptions and understanding of Jews throughout history were manifested in objects, from fine arts and crafts for the elite to everyday toys and knickknacks and household items. Many of these objects promoted negative attitudes and stereotypes about Jews. Oh, this is a long ass read. Well, it's not long, but I need the bread and butter. I need the bread and butter. Alright, fuck it. We'll go through the whole thing. The Arenthal collection, acquired through the generosity of the Katz family, consists of over 900 individual objects depicting Jews and anti-Semitic and anti-Jewish propaganda from medieval to the modern era, created and distributed throughout Europe, Russia, and the United States. The same hateful stereotypes reappear, or is this the same shit that is said under, but... Oh, you meant under this. Right. Jews were only gradually readmitted to England, starting blah blah blah. What does this have to do with anything? Where's the goblin shit at? Those canes are fucking hilarious. It says there's nothing after this. I still don't... So the pictures are a good TLDR on the propaganda. Pigs, the dentures, I don't know what the fuck this is. Alright. We're gonna get back to this.
Wait a minute. So Hitler was careful when he came in, and then when he came into power, that's when he got the whole Jewish hatred. That's what you're saying?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, then when did he start the whole Jewish people need to be reprimanded? When did he start that? Early on or after?
Do you want the exact year?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can provide that.
I'm pretty sure it was 44. I actually don't know the exact year, but
44.
I don't know the exact year, but I could find it out. Here's the difference. With the claims that I'm making, I can provide sources.
Yeah, so who's on the board just sent me some pictures. One of them was a picture that I found where it wasn't as like dark looking. It's like it looks kind of old. And then the other one is from the movie that Goebbels had did. So yeah, about the only depictions that I know of.
And when you tell me that you tell me things like you read a book where early literature, you told me just now that yes, Hitler did himself in his speeches make mention of goblins and their similarities to Jewish people. And I'm telling you that never occurred. Not because I'm defending him, just because factually that didn't occur.
Okay, so when you so before
and if you read a book growing up in school where you read these things, then you should be able to provide the name and author of that book, right?
No.
Yeah, I'll definitely put that down on Twitter. But I mean, this was early high school. I don't know what high school you went to, but they very much, we saw the texts. We saw this. We saw the upbringing of Hitler into power. He was very, very anti-Jewish. He felt that Jews was taken after World War I. They took over when Germany went bankrupt. That he felt that it was primarily the Jewish people's fault for bringing in like new businesses, jewelry, selling silver, and how.
This is something that Peanut should have brought up when she was talking about the propaganda and everything. And I just called it earlier.
The gold.
Hitler wrongly believed and blamed the Jewish people for the loss of the First German War. He blamed the Jews for the fall of German society, period.
This is what irritates me about speaking to some people. That doesn't negate anything that YoMama just said at all whatsoever. She didn't like disprove or like you weren't really making a point. That's okay.
Yes, he was
Right.
extremely anti-Jew. That's not what we're talking about.
And what was his early speeches when he went and made speeches? What was his early
Yeah, please, John. If you got them, send them.
speeches?
Never in a speech translated, you're never gonna find him making mention of gremlins. I mean,
So what the argument is, Vidal, is YoMama is basically saying that goblin is a historical slur and that it was used to demean Jewish people and that Hitler himself even used it. And what Peanut is saying is that there were other things that the Nazis used as propaganda, but there isn't any type of documentation to show that Hitler ever said goblin or that it was somewhat a part of the propaganda. Even though, like as we keep saying, the depiction, the imagery was really what they used, and it was somewhat implied more than it was said.
I mean of goblins.
Okay. So what did he do? What did he refer Jewish people to then? What was his reference when he said that Jewish people will eat your children and basically steal all your money and we need to oppress them. We need to be the oppressor and we need to oppress the Jewish people. What was the kind of things he would say?
He never used the word gremlin.
But
Bro, I keep saying gremlin because
Goblin.
you said gremlin. Yeah,
okay,
it's
but what kind of things that he would tell people in order to brainwash them to believe that we need to oppress the Jewish people? What was the early things that he would say?
What does it matter? Like, why are we even having the conversation? The point
Because he was using early European literature to basically tell people, hey, this is what they are. This is what they do. This is why you can't trust them. They are goblins. They will literally eat your children and steal your silver. That's what the things he was saying in these speeches early on. But the fact that you're sitting here and saying that he did not refer, well, go ahead, talk to me.
Do you want to know how I know that you have no idea what you're talking about? Because the best argument for what you're talking about is something that I am aware of that was a story that was circulated by the Hitler Youth. But it was never spoken about verbally by Hitler himself ever out loud. It had nothing to do with goblins. And that's the point of discussion. I mean it when I tell you that I'm extremely educated when it comes to Nazi Germany.
And it's funny that you had sent me this, John, because one of the things that is brought up here is the swine as Jewish foster mother. And this is actually brought up in the conversation pretty soon. So I'm going to just let this ride.
In World War II.
But you're not giving me.
Listen,
Yeah, go ahead.
goblin trope is just not true. It's just not true.
So tell me, why are so many Jewish people upset and mad at the word being used then? What are they being upset about?
Well, for most of who I've seen, it's
No.
performative in nature. It's performative in nature.
You got to be capping, right? I'm not talking about just Girl World. We're not just talking about Girl World here. We're talking about the mass majority of Jews. Go ahead, talk to me.
Let me finish.
Now, I don't believe that YoMama would even fucking know that? How do you know what the mass majority of Jews even feel like? You can't start speaking about them like they're a monolith. How would you feel if somebody said that about black people and they're like, well, the vast majority of black people, and there's like a group of black people that's like, nigga, we don't feel like that. I don't think that necessarily works. And to be honest, all my life I've never really heard this whole goblin thing as a trope for Jewish people either. I've heard of the other slurs that's used for them, but never have I necessarily heard goblin myself either.
From the people I've seen in this space who I believe are doing it in a performative nature, most of what I've seen is performative. But to the few that who are Jewish people who are
VGTV said, does it matter if Hitler said it if the Nazis used it? No, it doesn't. And it doesn't necessarily matter if it's if they actually said the word, but it was still implied. Because like I said, like, it's more concrete for black people because we've actually been called monkeys before. So if you start talking about banana peeling and things like that, like, we can straight away, like right away, attribute that to it. But in the same sense, you know how it works with, like with Taylor Noir was saying earlier about with dog whistles. They say certain things and you know that they're talking about them. It's like how they say joggers instead of the N-word, right?
Genuinely offended. I believe that they're offended because...
Oh, yes, because I heard she educates YoMama about Sambos too. That is going to be a great part. That's exactly what I'm waiting for.
Of what their people have suffered through.
That I do know
and because any even small hint of maybe anti-Semitism, I can understand why that would trigger somebody. However, in this particular case, this was a word unintended to have anything to do with anti-Semitism.
What's going on, Angry Veteran?
Leveled in the direction of a woman who disparages this other woman. It's her fucking job to do so. So it's a different conversation. And I'm the kind of person, while I understand as a human being that Jewish people, I understand why they may be offended, and it's their right to feel however they do. But I think it's quite entitled for you to expect to walk around this world and not be offended by a word that wasn't even leveled in your direction.
And see, and this is where I'm at, like a crossroad. This is where I gotta disagree with Peanut. Lima Meba says, I grew up in areas with lots of Jewish people. Goblin is offense. Oh, they probably meant offensive. If a group of people are telling you though, like if it is a group of people telling you, like multiple people from that same group are telling you that something is offensive, you should probably just, cover your ass and stop saying that shit and be like, my bad. There was a time where I think on stream I've accidentally said something and I didn't necessarily think that I was being racist, but it's not about that. It's the fact that it could offend somebody of a specific race from what I was saying. So I apologize, and I have not said that word on stream ever again. It happens. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, in the same sense, what I was saying was, if this was something that a couple people brought up, it's like with the Tina thing, like I said, but I don't think it was really that many black people who popped up and was like, yes, calling a black person a llama is racist. Oh yeah, my bad. I gotta double down and act like it was a troll. My bad. I'll do better next time.
You are not entitled to walk this earth and not be offended, especially when that word was not directed at you in the first place, and when this person did not have anti-Semitic intent. You don't get to decide somebody's intent, and you don't.
Wait.
Somebody's speech as a power move.
First of all, Booty Beauty is a public figure. One, number two, she was told by other Jewish people that got nothing to do with FFG, but other Jewish people that told her this is offensive. This is offensive to me and my family and whomever that gone through. Either they got family members or had known somebody in their culture that gone through Holocaust, and it's offensive towards them. And if they feel offended towards it, and they told you this years ago that it's offensive, why not just be like, you know what? I'm not going to use it no more. I'm going to use something else. It's offensive. You might not understand it because you're a white person.
PUCV doesn't have a wrench in my check because this nigga ain't never here. That's why.
Or whatever.
At this point, Chantel has made that statement. Once she became aware that FFG had also used that word, she decided, I'm going to be better. I'm no longer going to use that word. And does she get any credit for that?
Credit for not being racist?
Did she get any credit for kowtowing to a bunch of people who are only weaponizing this bullshit in her direction?
And Taylor Noir brings up a great fucking point. You can't decide someone's intent just like you don't get to decide the impact. You can have an opinion on what their intent is, and you can make speculations, right? But you don't never really know. That's why we gave Husky the benefit of the doubt that first time, because he's like, oh, I didn't know. We don't fucking know what he knows, and we'll never know. And there's not really a way to prove that, right? There's not really a way to prove if Chantel meant that or not, because she could be lying, she could be not, even if you ask her. So you never really know. So yeah, claiming intention as some type of evidence is fucking stupid, because it's kind of hard to parse out what your intentions are unless you have actions and things that are surrounding it. There's context, you know, and other things. In order for you to do a hate crime, you can't just say things to somebody. You have to be doing something physical and then saying something, right? You can beat somebody's ass because, like, oh, I'm gonna beat up this black dude because he's black, but unless you're, you know, screaming out racial slurs, it's probably not going to be seen as a hate crime.
And kowtowing to them anyway, so that they can not be offended by words that were not directed at them in the first place. But
listen, it's just like, yo, listen, it's offensive to a group of people. People don't, that's how they feel about it. She uses it, and then it's okay. But then to sit there and make a community post and say that it's not offensive towards Jews, I looked it up and it's not no problem. As a person that's not Jewish is going to tell Jewish people that they're not offended on something. It's crazy. That's like a white person telling a black person, calling you a gorilla. I know gorillas. Matter of fact, it's not offensive because I know that it's not offensive to me, so it shouldn't be offensive to you. You can't tell another group of people what they can and can't be offended about.
That's completely different.
That's the community post.
No, it's not completely different. She's trying to focus on other little minor details. She's being very pedantic. It's the same as in, it's not gorilla isn't a racial slur. That's the point that he's making. Gorilla in itself is not a racist slur, but if you're calling a black person a gorilla, it could be taken as one. And so if a bunch of people are telling you, which has happened before, that is fucking racist, and you're not listening, people are gonna then perceive you as racist. That's just how it goes. You can't choose how people see you.
That's the community post that she made.
If you're calling a black man or a black person a gorilla, that is undeniable race. That's undeniable racial intent.
That's not undeniable, because there was two brothers in middle school. These niggas look like chimpanzees. I don't care what nobody fucking says. And that's not about them being black. They literally, their ears were like this, round to the side. They had little weird round heads. Them niggas look like chimps. And it was hilarious because the black kids, us, we used to tell them niggas that they look like chimps because they actually look like them. Is there any racial intent there? No. We're talking about how these niggas look identical to the actual animal. Not all black people, just them. Just these two niggas. These two brothers. Y'all both actually look like chimps. So no, it's not undeniable. There's you have to leave space open for you to be wrong. Stop ruling out all other possibilities. There's always another possibility. Not always. There's some things that you can pretty much say is definitive, right? But no, that is just an untrue statement.
Either racial intent, racial dismissal, whatever the fuck it is, it's gross. This is a little bit more nuanced of a conversation because it's not so cut and dry. It's just not.
It's not a nuance because you just don't know enough Jewish people that it is offensive towards them.
Oh my God.
That
I
might
don't
be
know
true,
enough
too.
Jewish.
That was true for me, because there's other people who said that they've been around Jewish people, and that is definitely a slur for them. And personally, I haven't really been around any, and I've never heard about that.
People, dude,
Obviously not.
you don't know where I come from. You don't know my family. Don't even say that. There's a reason why I know so much about Nazi Germany. And there's
You said
reason also.
I thought
Dude,
she was
there's
Italian.
a reason also why you and nobody else in chat has still not provided me with links to sources making these claims. There is reason for that. There's a reason.
Yeah, Gator, research before a panel would have been nice. Yeah, like I said earlier, it only took me like 5-10 minutes to even just look a little bit of this stuff up. For me to find out that it wasn't explicitly said, but it was heavily implied.
You said in your upbringing that your family used to give you the book Sambo, right?
Give me the book? No, I had a
Here we
storybook.
go.
I had a storybook of children's stories. It was a compilation. And in that book, there was the story Little Black Sambo, yes.
And you felt that wasn't racist.
No, I never said that. What I said was I believed that the reason that people thought that just the word Sambo in general and somebody calling Sam, who is a white woman, Sambo, I said, I think they think that because of this story.
It ain't got shit to do with that story, and you're fucking dumb. The name of the book is called Little Black Sambo. And you think that it has nothing to do with racism. You just said out your own mouth that the book is called Little Black Sambo. And so, of course, she's speaking about the origin of the word and things like that, right? So, let's hear about it a little bit.
And then I Googled it. My whole point was not that Sambo's not racist. My whole point was it's not racist if you're calling a white woman Sam fucking Sambo as a fucking nickname. That was my point.
Then what else can Sambo mean? If that's what other thing does Sambo, other than if you're talking about wrestling, because that's the only other Sambo that I know. That's Sambo, and then there's Sambo. Sambo is a whole wrestling thing that goes on, right, in a different country. I don't remember what exact country. Now, how is calling somebody a Sambo, whether they be white, black, or anything, how is that not racial when the whole epithet of it is racial in the first place? Don't believe me? Let me show you. Boom. Let's go to right here. This is where, look, right here. It didn't take long. Wait, Sambo, a term used to refer to a black person, especially male. Also says disparaging and offensive on older use. Now here's the old archaic word of Sambo is Zambo, which is a term used to refer to a Latin American of black and Native American ancestry, or a person of black and white ancestry. So every single part of the word has to do with race. The old version, the new version, the middle, whatever version of it. Oh, and dancing is samba, yeah. But no, whatever way that you use this word, it's fucking racist. Like, okay, so here's something else that I found. This is just an article that somebody wrote, and I put it up at the top because I didn't want to use their words like that, without giving them a little credits from somebody by the name of DL Chandler. And they say, to most of us, the phrase Uncle Tom is synonymous with a black person who has sold out their race. The character Stefan from the Django, played by Steven from Django, played by Samuel Jackson, is a perfect example of someone who commonly referred to as a Tom. In actuality, the term Sambo better fits the characteristics we often ascribe to Uncle Tom. The racial term Sambo first came to prominence in modern American culture with the publishing of Harriet Beecher Stowe's anti-slavery book, Uncle Tom's Cabin. However, the origin of the term reaches back to the 1700s, according to some scholars, and there is some evidence the name is a variation of a West African name as well. Today, the term is largely derogatory, but the etymology of the word appears to be Zambo, a word that was used during the Spanish and Portuguese Empire periods to describe a mixed person that appeared more black than white. It was also said to mean bow-legged or knock-kneed. There is also evidence that the word is derived from the West African Fula tribe language, which translates into uncle. So, like I said, however way that you want to fucking parse this shit out, it's racial. It's just weird to be calling Sam Sambo. It's like you're calling her a sellout, and then it's weird because she's not black. Like, it's just, I don't know.
That was my
No,
point.
you said it was just a book of a black guy and a tiger, and it was just like, what was racist about that?
Go and listen to my stream again. Listen to what I actually said instead of what you wanted to hear.
So my question is, why would you even why would as a kid, why would your family even give you a book like that?
What do you mean? Do you really, are you trying to say that having a book with black characters in it is racist somehow?
It ain't black characters. It's a racist ass fucking book.
No.
So this is where YoMama is a little bit wrong. So when I looked up a little bit of stuff about this book, and I think BGTV and them, I think they went over this too, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure, but if you look into the book, they did a revised version of the book, and I'm pretty sure Peanut had the revised version. So some of the things that were in the original, she probably didn't exactly see.
What?
No,
it's not.
You have it backwards. You have it
No, talk to me.
backwards.
Talk to me.
The story,
Yeah.
it comes from it's an old folk tale. What people did, what people did is, as a result of the story Little Black Sambo, they started using the word Sambo towards black people with negative racial intent.
And I literally just showed you about the origin of the word. That's not where the fuck that comes from. And the reason why people nowadays have been using Sambo was from the other example, more of a social one rather than a historic one, where people got Sambo from realizing that Uncle Tom actually wasn't the sellout in the story, but Sambo was. That's why it's popularized today. But even back in the day, from its conception, it was a racial term.
But the story in and of itself, just existing on its own, is not racist.
But it doesn't exist on its own. It was given that name. It was given that name because he was black. Whether it be somebody who's Indian, is still a dark ass Indian, and they gave him the features of, you know, the black caricature. I think Gigi is about to go into that pretty damn soon.
Story, yeah, but that was my point. It's because of the story, people use that character as a negative racial. That's what it is.
Right, because originally that book is just not racist.
No, it's not. You know what the story is? It's about.
What is it? Talk to me. It's about a little black boy. Go ahead, talk to me.
I looked it up, and it wasn't. I didn't even know this myself, but it's about an East Indian little boy. I didn't even know that. So it's about an East Indian little family
in blackface
and a tiger, and the little boy outsmarts the tiger. He's trying to trick him out of his clothing. No, it's not a racist story at all. Have you ever read it? It's like a really nice story, actually.
Oh yeah.
See, and this is where Peanut always gets to be dishonest. It's not that it's a racist story. It's about the book and the characters and the names and things like that are itself racist. The depiction is racist.
With the little Aunt Jemima giving them new clothes every time, and pancakes.
What?
Pancake. What? You didn't read the book?
Mean?
His mama was dressed as Aunt Jemima.
Not in my book, homie.
What book were you reading? Look at the pictures, man. You didn't see it? The nigga would get his clothes taken, and then he would go down to he would get his clothes taken, and then he would be rewarded with pancakes by Aunt Jemima. What?
How dare Yo Mama completely call out the fact that Peanut grew up on a racist ass book, and because of that, thinks that Sambo isn't a racially charged word. That's not her fault. Because obviously, just like always, Peanut's the victim here.
Really him. You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
She's obviously the victim. Just like in any other situation. It's not Feudy Beauty's fault. She's a victim. It's not my fault that I had a racist book. I'm a victim.
What are you talking about?
Actually, the book is the victim.
See the picture?
What story did you read? The story that I read?
What you read? Yeah!
Dude,
Yes!
first of all,
Go look at it!
the story that
Yeah.
I read
It didn't have Aunt Jemima in it.
Victim of sleep
pancakes
apnea.
At all. What are you talking about? It's about a little boy and a tiger.
Yeah.
And the tiger
Yeah.
trying to eat him and trying to trick him out of his clothing. That's it. It has nothing to do with pancakes at all.
Okay,
You're making that up.
okay. No,
You're
it did.
fully
Okay,
making
wait a
that
minute. On my life, you didn't
You're
read the book. Hey,
fully making that shit up right
okay,
now.
okay. So when the tiger tricked
He's
him out of his
giving him
clothes,
pancakes for his clothes? What the fuck, yeah.
Ooh. And to add on to the whole Jewish thing, thank you for the Cash App who's on the board. He said, sent you one that depicts Jews eating people. Oof. He did say eat it. Are they children or is it just people? Hold on, I'm gonna look.
yo, the tiger didn't give him pancakes. I swear to God, they gave you the worst book.
Allegedly,
Yo, the tiger didn't give him the pancakes.
You heard it here
He would
first.
go to Aunt Jemima.
You heard it here first. Aunt Jemima was tricking this kid out of his clothes, and then
That's not what I said. Listen, because you didn't read the book. I don't know what's going on. But listen,
You are so making that up.
listen. I swear to God. No, listen. Let me tell you the story. The black boy would get tricked by the tiger. The tiger would trick him out of his clothes. When he got out of his clothes, he went to his mama, who was dressed as Aunt Jemima. She would reward him with pancakes and give him new clothes. The tiger would try to trick him out of his new clothes again, and he would hide in a tree and come down. And then somehow the tiger tricked him out of his clothes again. He would go back to Aunt Jemima, get some more pancakes and some more clothes, and he would. It was one of the most racist stories ever. It was crazy.
Pancakes in the
Yeah, I think Yo Mama is a little bit off. The story she's right about that. The story itself is not racist. It's the characters that are in the book.
story. You are making that up.
So okay, so
100%.
this black mama wasn't in the story either.
Not in the story I read. This, you know what? The story that I read.
Man, that shit was.
It was
Yeah,
about two siblings.
She had the
It was about two
revised
siblings.
version.
And
Yeah.
the little boy successfully
Right.
tricked the tiger, not the other way around. The boy bested the tiger.
So I'm gonna interject. And hold on. You're both wrong.
Now we get the whole clarification. Thank you, Gigi, for doing the simple thing of just going to your phone and looking that shit up and finding out. It was so simple.
And there was no fucking pancake.
You're both wrong.
found.
Okay, let
There's a lot
Gigi
of
jump in. Let Gigi jump in. You're
All right.
both wrong. I googled the story of Sambo. You're kind of right. He's a South Indian boy who goes out to do some shit. I don't remember. He encounters 4 hungry tigers, and he surrenders his colorful new clothes and shoes and umbrellas so they won't eat him. He ends up climbing up a tree while the tigers fight with each other to see who's the best dressed or some shit. I don't know. They have a massive argument and chase each other.
Pancakes, motherfucker.
They have, there are. Hold on.
No.
They have a massive. There are. Listen. They have a massive argument, and the tigers chase each other around a tree until they are reduced to a pool of ghee, which is clarified butter. Sambo recovers his clothes and goes home. Tells his dad what happened. His father goes out, collects the ghee, which his mother uses, to make pancakes.
Damn. Read 'em and wheat. The fucking pancakes. She swore up and down that there was no fucking pancakes. But Yo Mama was wrong. It was that the mom was rewarding him after every time coming back and giving him pancakes. Hilarious. Both of you were wrong.
No, not in my fucking story. There was no pancakes. There was also no kitty.
I've never read it. I'm going by Wikipedia. I've never read that book on Wikipedia.
No, Gaming Ground. No, I want you to look up.
Man,
So
you
let me
can't tell me
Pistachio.
nothing.
So I've been reading while I've been reading while you two have been arguing. So here is where the racism of the book lies. The racism of the book has.
So I missed a couple of cash apps from who's on the board. He said, FBI now watching me. since you one that depicts Jews eating people. Spoiler, Mussolini was fascist and supported Hitler. Also, fascist Italians fled to Argentina. I did not know that last one.
Has to do with the names that the author used, like the mother's name is Black Mumbo, and it also has to do. Hold on.
Stop!
And it has
Stop!
to.
What was the mom's name?
Says that racism of the book has to do with the names that the author used, like the mother's name is Black Mumbo, and it also has to do. Hold on.
Stop!
And it has to. And it has to. Listen. Let me finish. I just read a whole fucking.
Gigi is such a little diva. Calm down. I don't know why you're getting so angry. Like, obviously he's having fun with this. Like, or maybe it's because he's dunking on your friend and she has to be quiet in the background. But let him catch his W. You don't have to get so upset. He thinks this shit is hilarious. I think this shit is hilarious. Her name is Black Mumbo.
Think about it. The racism allegations come from the characters' names, Black Mambo, whatever it is, and then also the illustrator when drawing the character. Why are we fucking laughing? I'm educating. Shut.
I think I'm figuring out that some of you just don't like Yo Mama as a person, and that shit is hilarious to me. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I like being around people who annoy everybody else, but like they don't annoy me. That shit is funny as shit. So watching Gigi flip out on Yo Mama right now is hilarious. All he's doing is laughing. You can just keep talking.
Shut up. The illustrator drew the characters in a Pickaninny style. Oh my god. Never mind. Going back on fucking mute. I'm trying to explain what makes it racist, but your mama just wants to fucking laugh, so let him laugh. I don't know what to tell. He didn't get the book right either. Listen, you didn't. Hold on, you didn't get the book right and haven't explained why it's racist either. So I don't know why the fuck you're laughing.
That's actually not true, and that's where I'm gonna have to pull your card on that, Mr. Ground. He actually specifically said about the pancakes and called her Aunt Jemima. The reason why he said Aunt Jemima is because it was a mammy character, which is in turn a pickaninny. So exactly what you read out is exactly what Yo Mama explained, is that, you know, the racist tropes with the mother, but it wasn't only the mother though. It was also the father, I think it was, and also the boy, right? They also had the black caricature features with the big lips and all the other weird shit, right? But he did specifically say the Aunt Jemima mama. So you can't say that he didn't describe how it was racist, because he did point that one thing out.
Dude, I did explain it right. It's racist as fuck.
No, but why is it racist? Why is it racist? Other than what I just said.
Oh yeah, you're right. Gigi, what was her mom? What was the mom's name again?
I'm trying to explain the race as the book aged. It became a topic of racism because of the names of the characters. Oh my god! And the illustrators picking any depictions. The book is still in print today, by the way.
Yeah, dude,
but hold on. But it's under. Oh my god! I'm going back on mute. Goodbye, everybody.
Versions of that.
So he couldn't take the laugh, and then Peanut can't ever shut the fuck up. Defeated.
Have been written.
Go ahead, talk to me.
That story is so old, it's a folktale. So many versions of that story have been written and shared.
Pistachio.
I read This is why I thought he was making up the pancake aspect. The story I read had no fucking ghee and had no fucking pancakes at all to be married.
It's really not that hard to figure out that the older version of the book was racist, and then they revised it, and there is a newer version. That one that Peanut probably got. This is not rocket science. You guys, this is how closed-minded Peanut is. Like, she can't fathom that there might be a different possibility as to why she knows the story differently. She doesn't even question it. She just keeps pontificating to him over and over again. That's not what the story is. That's not. Even though Gaining Ground just read out what the story was. He looked it up on his phone, figured it out, and she's still arguing about it.
My story also did not have 4 tigers. It only had 1.
Right. So you had 1 tiger. So you had 1 tiger, no pancakes, and no Miss. What was Aunt Jemima name? Gigi. What was her name again? What was the mother's name?
Black Mamba.
Man, that shit was racist as fuck. Whoever gave you that goddamn book was in a goddamn clan.
You know that hurt. You know she hurt off of that one. Ain't no way. That hurt Peanut's feelings.
That shit was racist as fuck. Whoever gave you that goddamn book was in a goddamn clan. There was a clan meeting. You was 13. You was in a clan meeting. You didn't even know it.
No, dude,
they burned crosses that day.
Dude, isn't it obvious to you that I didn't have that version of the story?
I'm gonna ask you this question, Pistachio.
Listen to the tone of her voice. Her will is weak.
When they was reading that folktale, where you was at, were they all dressed in white sheets? Did they burn crosses afterwards? I mean, did you not get
So this is where you're being ignorant right now because because in the 1950s, the original went out of print and a new illustrator was brought in and the names were changed. So it's very likely that Pistachio has gotten
I had a completely different.
And then, so this is where he's not being ignorant per se, because the name of the book is still Little Black Sambo. And as far as I know, like I said before, the word Sambo is in every way, shape, and form a racial term. So the name of the book in of itself is a racial term. So no, this is where you're being ignorant. Think about it. If the name of the if I had a book with the bean word on it, with the ER at the end, do you think and it was about an actual bean, but it had Mexican culture in it or whatever like that, and then they changed it from Mexican culture to something else so that it wouldn't be racist? Do you think that it wouldn't be racist because they took all the racist stuff out of it, but it still had the bean name? No, it would still be fucking racist because the bean name in of itself is a racial term. So no, that's not how it works.
It is very likely that whatever she got in the 80s was the updated version where the illustrations were made to look like a South Indian family instead of picking any character. So
no, Miss Pickles, that is what he's debating on though, because he said that this is where you're ignorant, and he said that she didn't get the racist version because the names and the depictions were changed. What I'm saying is, when Peanut at the very beginning, when she's the one who said what the book's name was, she said Sambo, and she's even doubling down on saying that the name, just the word itself, Sambo, isn't racist. But what YoMama is saying is that her parents are racist for getting her a book, right? Now I get what you're saying, as in he thinks that it's the old school version, right? Of course it's not the old school version, and that's what I was saying earlier, that she obviously had the revised version. But then it makes you wonder, like, how much does Peanut's parents know, like, about racial things? Because, like, you just picked up a book with the word Sambo on it. Like, I don't know.
So it's very possible that she's not in the clan. It's kind of fucking stupid to say that, but whatever. I don't like. Why are you laughing? Like, this is supposed to be a serious topic. You're laughing. Like, this is why I get fucking annoyed, because we want to have a topic. You come up here and you make light of it, and then me and Peanut are the fucking evil assholes who don't want to learn, right? So what the fuck is it? Do we learn or do we get fucking laughed at?
Bro, let me.
You get laughed at and then you can learn, but I still get to laugh at you. If somebody falls on their ass, I'm gonna laugh at them, and then I'm gonna ask them if they're okay, I can still laugh at you.
Tell you, cause like I'm trying to tell you, like shit like offends certain group of people, and it's just like it's like, okay, I get it that you want to use certain words and you want to say certain things, and you don't want. Okay. You. I mean, I don't like censorship either. I don't agree with it. I don't like
what
it.
is your real name? What can I call you? Do you want to be called by
You call
your
me
real
your
name?
mama.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
But listen,
it's something hard.
Got that. You can send me the link on Twitter. I'll look right now.
But what I'm saying.
Listen for a second though.
Okay.
This is the point.
But mom, no. Let me just finish my point.
Okay.
I'm just saying. As a group of people, as not just black people, Jewish people, and other kind of group of people, if somebody is offended by a word or they offended by something, I mean, just move on. Like, don't keep on repeating it. Like, I came into this space and I was using the fat B word up and down. That's my favorite word. Saying the B word to men, women, everything.
Bitch?
Yes, bitch. I love that word. I love it. It's I was grown up. I was raised on it. I said it a lot. When I came into this space, I called every woman that I was reacting to the B word, and I called them the fat B word, and I said they 700 pounds. I was talking out of control. When a group of women came to me and said, "Yo, mama, yo, I'm offended by that. I don't appreciate it. I don't want to be called the fat B." Da da da. And I sat back and I didn't make no arguments on I listen to Too Short, I listen to Tupac, I listen to this, I do this. I didn't do none of that. I said I respect that it offends you, so I'm going to work and I'm going to do better and I'm going to change it and I'm not going to say those words no more.
Let me tell you what he actually did. What he did was he played a clip of me on the Smoke Arena saying that I'm pretty sure that when your mama's saying bitch, he's just using it as like a general term for female, because that's how we talk in LA. And so he brought that up as a point, but then he did also turn around and say that he's not going to say it anymore because some people did find it disrespectful, right? And if you have, especially if you do something that involves the audience, I guess, to a certain extent, you can't just do what you want, because what the fuck are you even doing this for if you don't want people to watch you? So to a certain extent, you do have to be respectful of other people's cultures and other things. Certain people tell you that they have a problem with some of the things that you say, then you might want to tone it down a little bit. It's not that hard. Like, it's like when I used to be in drags, and I remember I asked him, how come he doesn't say nigga on his channel, but he'll say it on Hannibal and Monty's? And he said, well, he's like, I have more of an inclusive audience, around in my shit. So he's like, it might make people a little bit uncomfortable, and I don't want to have to parse out who can say nigga and who can't. So I just rather not say it, and then nobody else say it, and I don't have them problems. You're not gonna lose any sleep not being able to call someone a goblin or a bean or the N-word or anything. Like, there's a bunch of other words that you can use. It's not hard.
And I stuck to that. And for Foodie Beauty, 2 years ago, to be told that calling a Jewish person a goblin, it offends me and it offends a certain group of people, just respect that and just move. There's a lot of words you can call FFG. I've called FFG more than 150 words, and I did not have to use that word.
Me personally, I can insult somebody way more creatively. There's no need for that. However, it's about the topic of discussion. It's about imposing negative racial intent on somebody when it's so obvious that she didn't mean it. It's
not fucking obvious. If it was obvious, why do you think people have a fucking issue with it? If it was obvious, everybody would be able to see, right? Obviously, if you want to talk about things being obvious, obviously the group of people who it affects said that shit is disrespectful and they don't fucking like it. That was pretty fucking obvious. Obviously.
You don't get to walk around this earth entitled to be offended by a word that wasn't intended in that way in the first place, that wasn't directed at you in the first place. These are conversations that need to be had, because the world is a dangerous, dark fucking place.
Am I tripping, or has Foodie Beauty called her a goblin like a bunch of times? This isn't the only time. Which is kind of your mama's point, right? That she's been told about this multiple times.
Never expect the world to cater to you. Never expect the world to cater to your emotions, especially if it's a fucking stranger on the internet. You are not entitled to not be offended by someone's words.
And I 100% believe, and I 100% respect what you're saying. When she go in at FFG, I think FFG is anti-Semitic. What she did to Froggy, when she sent those DMs to Froggy and called her a Jewish person, yeah. But she got, but like I
think FFG is just hateful, and she doesn't care what lines she has to cross to spew that hate in any way.
But I don't. But like I said, I don't like you using it towards FFG. FFG cannot play the Jew card. She's been so anti-Semitic to so many people. She can't use it. It was just the fact that Foodie Beauty made that community post and tried to speak for all Jewish people, saying that Jewish people are not offended by me calling Jewish people goblins. Like that, like you cannot tell a group of people what they can and can't be offended by, and what their history is and what they feel like.
Do you know who she can speak for? She can speak for herself. And FFG is the one who Goblin was leveled at. That's all that matters.
No, but it's but that's not what
let me tell you what it's just like. Just like that stupid bitch. What's her name? Is it Shannon? Hearting that comment about you. Your feelings are the only ones that matter. Do you forgive her? Were you offended? You.
This is where you have the game fucked up, Peanut. Because when you use a derogatory term that's used for a group of people, keyword is group. If I catch one of y'all calling Yo Mama the Hardy R, you taking shots at me. Because me and Yo Mama are the same thing. So I take offense to that. It's not just, I don't give a fuck if Yo Mama is like, well, you know, it's okay that person says, I don't give a fuck what he says. I'm offended. Because that has to deal with me. Also, I'm offended that he got called that. Because that person would probably say the same thing about me. It gives me, words are used to convey an idea that you have in your head. And you thought in your head to use the language that you know, and that a lot of us know on here, I guess, and write that shit down to make sure that other people seen it and got that same message, so that you can convey that you thought that he was a derogatory term for a human being. And you think the same thing about me, and you think the same thing about everybody else who looks like me and Yo Mama, and probably darker. So yes, it has more to do with all of us, and not just Yo Mama. That's not how it works. That's why it's called racism, because it's something that's against the whole race. Just because you levy it at one person doesn't mean that it has nothing to do with the rest of the race. That's why it's called racism, racial slurs. It has to do with a group of people, a certain race. Words have meanings. Come on. Jesus fucking Christ, Peanut. God damn.
You are the only person who matters. And it's the same way when it comes to Goblin and FFG. It's the same. Do you understand?
Yeah, but and I said, and I didn't, and like I said, her throwing that towards FFG, I didn't really even speak on it. But I'm just speaking towards a group of people that are offended by those words, and the same group of people that are offended by FFG being Islamophobic. I can't sit on my channel. I can't sit on my channel and shit on FFG for being Islamophobic, and then allowing
And while he's stammering, Mrs. Pickles brings up a good point. She says, it's indicative of your viewpoint and real thoughts, not only about a singular individual, but about a group of individuals. And that is the issue that Peanut fails to understand. Which is funny though, because any other time and you bring up something that somebody did, she almost always does the birds of a feather flock together thing, right? Where she attributes whatever you do to anybody else around you. She sat there and grilled BGTV and was like, how can you be friends and cool with all these problematic people, but I like you and you don't do anything problematic? Like, there's no way. She understands. Like, she's very obtuse when it comes to these type of topics.
Foodie beauty to get away with saying fucking anti-Semitic shit. It's not right on both sides.
Let me ask you a question.
Dude, you're morally consistent. I said that from the very start. That's why I saw some short clips that I heavily disagreed with, especially you making the mistake and kept calling it gremlins instead of goblins. It was pretty funny. But I disagreed with you. However, you are extremely morally consistent. So you are not somebody that I would ever argue with, because I believe that you actually care and that you actually mean what you say.
Right, let me ask a
question.
question.
I believe you're coming in from the compassion place that one should.
Let me ask a question.
Most people don't.
I agree with a majority of what you said. Like I said, she said it. I don't believe it was anti-Semitic. I have tweets of people calling Chantal a goblin, but whatever.
Right,
she said it. That's right. She was told, don't do it. At that point, she should stop. Okay, but Chantal's an impulsive person. She don't fucking listen to nobody, and I get that. Like when you know your intent, you want to prove yourself. And now you say she doesn't have the right to tell a group of people whatever, but she does, right?
Yeah, she does.
You don't have to watch.
Stop being pedantic. You know exactly what the fuck he means when he says that she doesn't have a right to do that. Is he saying that she can't use her First Amendment right to say whatever the fuck she wants to? Of course, she can actually say whatever the fuck she wants to. It's the same thing that we say about you, even if you want to say the hard ER. It's your American right to do it. You can say that shit, but I'm gonna let you know. It's not socially acceptable. That's what he means when he says the right. Nobody's going to listen to you about what you have to say about this group of people, because for one, you don't even belong to it, and two, it don't sound like you really know anything about the past history behind any of it. I personally didn't know much about it myself, which is why I didn't really want to get into the weeds of it, and I just sprinkled on what I did know. Come on now.
And that's the problem. People can't get enough of her, but yet she's the worst person. She's not. If she was a politician, yeah, I get this. Politicians need to be a prime minister, a president, a king, a queen, somebody of importance. But we have a group of people screaming at her, you don't have the right to say goblin. She does have that right. And if she's going to continue to do it, you have the right to change the channel. It's simple. She has the right. It's America. Well, what the fuck she is. You can't stop somebody from being a bigot. If you feel someone's a bigot, you have every right to feel that way. But you can't make them change. I wish you could. The world would be a much better place, wouldn't it?
But at the same time, if she's a public figure and she's saying all these things publicly for multiple, like thousands of people to hear, and he's a channel and he can also comment on whatever's out in the public, then he has every right to also criticize her and tell her that he doesn't agree with her saying this or doing this or anything like that. People do it all the time. So in the same sense, the argument that you're making for Chantel can also be used for YoMama. He has a right to criticize. He has a right to critique. If he personally doesn't like that, it doesn't go like YoMama has been up on panel with us and we sat there and argued with them. We don't always agree on everything, but this is not really an argument, because I could say the same thing for YoMama. He also has a right to say what the fuck he wants to and critique her for whatever she said. And if he believes that she has no right speaking on the Jewish community or has no right to speak for them, then that's his right also.
No, and for me, like I said, I just told her what it was, how I grew up, and the people,
yes,
and the people that told me, earlier on what it was, and I kept that word out of my mouth towards a certain group of people, and like I said, I don't speak for the Jewish race, I don't speak for Jews, but I know growing up that was considered anti-Semitic.
You're trying to be a fucking ally. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but here's the difference between you and what other people do.
I think he has good intent.
Thank you, Lindsay, for the Cash App. I'm gonna shut up now. I was already shutting up, but I guess I got to be quieter.
Hold on, no, but that's
really
true.
good intentions.
That's true, but your mama does what should be
He's
done.
one of
It's
the few who has good intentions.
Your mama does what should be done. He does a one and fucking done. He's not gonna drag this shit out. He's not.
Yo, I think we need to clip this one. Can we get this clipped? I need this sound. I need this one.
He has good intentions.
Hold on, no, but that's
really
true.
good intentions.
That's true, but your mama does what should be
He's
done.
one of the few who has good intentions.
Your mama.
Gaining ground is so high and frustrated. He's like, bitch, shut up. Can I get one sentence out? I've been letting you talk.
He does a one and fucking done. He's not gonna drag this shit out. He's not gonna talk about Chantal saying this for the next 75 fucking videos. That is the difference. And because performative, like Zachary, I don't think Zachary gives a flying fuck. I don't either.
I don't either.
I don't.
Yeah, and the thing about what Yaba said, and Pistachio was there, and Pistachio did that that panel. I hope anybody go see it, but it was really good. When Yaba told Pistachio, I don't criticize Foodie Beauty on on dumb shit, only her behavior. That's what she told Pistachio. Anything else, I don't give a fuck about. That, and then that just turned into straight up bullshit, because every time she go live, she's hitting that space bar on every fucking word, and she's garbage for it, and it's trash. I tried to say, okay, what on behavior, if Foodie Beauty say something wrong, I'll speak on it, but then I'll move on. But then I'm moving on to people that are fucking 10 times worse than Foodie Beauty. And these people don't even know that.
Exactly.
Like,
It's because at the end of the day, it's like siphoning off views, right? Some people like a filter when you watch certain people, and I've done the same thing before. Certain people that I'll go over because I know that they want to see what's going on, but they don't want to give that person the view. And so you kind of just, let the shit play, and you kind of just say some things in between. You really just sitting there just to watch the video, but you have to say something in order for it to be transformative. That's what I think that it is. Of course, I don't know that for sure, but I mean, I've done it before, where you try to slide through something and you're like, god damn, this is boring, but people want to see it and they don't necessarily want to watch it from that person. So it could be that. And then every now and then, when the real Chantel shit happens, like all the juicy shit, that's when you actually get into her behavior.
The Kayas, the Just Breezes, the Sammy Yabas, these people are fucking out of this world, out of control, bad.
Dude,
and it's just,
you agree with that.
Yeah,
shit.
and I think me and Pistachio early on caught on to Sam and Yaba. Like, Gigi just came around, like, I don't know, like a week ago. But me and Pistachio, we eyed that shit a long time ago. We said these motherfuckers are the worst people on the goddamn planet. And then they finally showed it. They finally took that mask off and showed the world, like,
how many times have we over here at Petty Fam said that everything that they got going on over there is a back and forth, and that we not getting involved? And it's still the same way. It's still a back and forth, and we still ain't fucking involved. Even when y'all tried to get us involved, we not involved.
We are who we are. And I was like, I've been seeing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I woke up to that shit. Like, but these people are 10 times worse, and that's what people don't understand. People are like, why you don't spend so much time on Foodie Beauty? Because Foodie Beauty fuck up, but she don't fuck up as much as these reaction channels do. These reaction channels are just gross. Like the stuff that Skinny Queen and Jan View said about that Foodie Beauty being a different kind of 16-year-old, so she deserved getting what she got with that 40-year-old. That shit's crazy.
Dude, and
Mama, that's disgusting.
Mama, have you seen on Twitter? I've seen people acting as though, like,
I think sound like Jan was just saying that Foodie Beauty was a hoe. She been a hoe since she was 16. You could have wrapped that whole stream up by just saying that.
What she got with that 40-year-old? That shit's crazy.
Dude, and
Mama, that's disgusting.
Mama, have you seen on Twitter? I've seen people acting as though, like celebrating, oh, he's calling out Foodie Beauty for her anti-Semitic behavior. He's finally starting to see that she's as bad as we say she is. Completely missing your point that your argument, which is very similar to mine, is that yes, Chantel is problematic, but the people who criticize her are usually way fucking worse.
Way worse.
That has always been your argument.
Mrs. Pickle says, from now on, I can't trust any person with the long greasy hair and spaces in between their bottom row teeth. That's right. If you're gonna have spaces in your teeth, they better be on the top.
Known that's your argument, because that's my argument too.
Yes, and I gotta keep it a buck. Like if Foodie Beauty get out of line, I'm gonna give her the same energy I would give FFG. I'm not tying myself to nobody. I'm not Tweeta T out here who's drinking the bathwater of FFG, or they think that I sent for Foodie Beauty.
And that's exactly the same reason why I don't like Blinky. Drinking the bathwater of Hussy.
This is not Foodie Beauty's first rage at me. This is her sixth rage at me for going at her about something that she did wrong. And these people are waking up like, oh my God.
Why do you think she doesn't fuck with me publicly? It's because I also hold her accountable when she...
Okay, I'm gonna take this back a little bit because we haven't gotten one in a while, folks. I think I got only about one yesterday, which killed everybody. But we have another daddy joke. Thank you, Capone Boxer, for the Cash App. She says, why don't lions play poker? Too many cheetahs. Corny as ever.
Going at her about something that she did wrong. And these people waking up like, oh my God.
Why do you think she doesn't fuck with me publicly? It's because I also hold her accountable when she needs to be held accountable. That's why she don't fuck with me public.
Exactly, and nothing's wrong with that. If Foodie Beauty goes on a rage about me, like people are like, "Oh my God, look at your mama, you lost your bestie." I'm like, I didn't lose nothing. I've been attacked Foodie Beauty. I've been calling Foodie Beauty FFG's sister and they sisters. I've been saying all this stuff. It's like they just get around to it whenever Foodie Beauty goes on a rage about me, or I go real hard at Foodie Beauty. But I've been going. I don't tie myself to nobody.
No,
I try to.
Yo, mama, it's because these people don't understand that you are a solid, genuine person, and it's genuinely about behavior for you. You're not making alliances for numbers. You're not making enemy of my.
For numbers? Of course, we're here for numbers. 38 likes and 86 viewers. Bullshit. All you gotta do is scroll down. I know you ain't in full screen. You don't want to see none of these faces that bad. You better hit that like button and sub if you haven't. Don't be over here freeloading.
Enemy fucking alliances. It's all about how people behave, and that will change day by day depending on how these people fucking behave. Period.
Exactly.
Always.
It's always gonna. It's always and I'm glad that there's more reaction channels, and I like Pistachio reacting to Yaba. That shit was hilarious when you reacted to Yaba watching Foodie Beauty. I need more of that. That shit was hilarious. But I'm glad that more and more channels are waking up to like going, hey, you know what? Like these reaction channels are fucking bad, and Twitter is catching on to it, and a lot of people are really catching on to it, and a lot of people are now doing it, which is good, and it's putting guys like Zachary Michaels. Zachary Michaels don't want to react to reaction channels because he's going to fuck his money up, because he knows if he goes out a reaction channel, he's going to get dragged. Amberlynn's not going to drag him. Amberlynn is going to do Amberlynn, and he knows that's an easy target.
He's afraid of alienating the mutual shared audience between these reaction channels.
But he also saw what happened to Sam and Yaba though. You got to understand, what we did to Sam and Yaba, other reaction channels are looking at that going, fuck no, I don't want that to happen to me. They got dragged. We fucking dragged through the streets.
Yo, mama,
and then ran them over and then backed up on them and we did them dirty.
I just want to add that Peanut is also a part of that too. She knows better. She won't review shit that we got going on over here, just like everybody else. I will give it to your mama. I've said it before. That's the only nigga who has reviewed the Smoke Arena. Him and Jan's views. They're the only people bold enough. Ain't nobody ever touched nothing on nothing.
Dude, you also missed what happened with Charlie Gold, man. She was at the top. She
Oh my
was the
God,
most
who
respected,
cares?
most successful channel, and Zachary Michael watched it happen to her first. So he watched it happen. Get it?
Get to the bean stuff.
And that's the reason why he said in his video, he said, I don't have time to talk about reaction channels. I just want to focus on Foodie Beauty and Amber Lynn. But the best thing about it is Foodie Beauty and Amber Lynn are focused on reaction channels. Amber Lynn is now, she's talking about me and other channels. Like, she's going and playing clips of what she's watching, and it forces Zachary Michaels to talk about me, talk about whoever Amber Lynn is putting up on her channel. It forces him to talk about reaction channels, and he doesn't want to do it. But now that Amber Lynn and Foodie Beauty are well versed in reaction channels, which is good. It's a good thing because now they got ammunition. We're basically giving them ammunition to use against these stupid ass reaction channels that are talking shit about them. You know what I mean? You could tell Foodie Beauty is now using R words, the R slang, and Amber Lynn is doing the same thing. So it really is. It's really
Somebody kick BGTV out the chat.
It's really putting a target on the goddamn reaction channels back.
You're out.
Especially the hypocrites, man. They're all hypocrites, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's it.
All of them in this space are absolute hypocrites. They are the worst of the worst. And you're right. You just made me aware of something, and you're absolutely right. I wish Amber Lynn and Chantel both would platform people like yourself who speak out against these people and their hypocrisy. I wish that they would platform you more, because it forces these other reaction channels to fucking address it. And it exposes their audience to the arguments that you're making.
Peanut just loves slamming her head against the wall over and over and over and over again. When I did like my receipt streams about the bodega and shit like that, isn't that so that people who are around those people can all of a sudden, oh my God, a switch goes off in their head and like, I've been wrong about this the whole entire time. He just proved it to me. No, it's so that it's for the new people. It's for when other people come around and they haven't exactly decided, what they think about this person, and then it gives them a different perception of what that person's been doing and how they are. For the fact that she still thinks that she's gonna flip Girl World on his head is, she has a lot of faith in herself, or a lot of faith in other people.
I wish they were smarter and more strategic, and that they would incorporate your arguments into their content more. It would be the smartest thing to do.
And that's what Foodie Beauty played a whole Yo Mama reaction, and it made all the reaction channels mad. And they was asking me on Twitter, Yo Mama, you should hit up YouTube to because Foodie Beauty is using your content, your full content on her channel. And I'm like, fuck no. Go ahead and play that shit, because I want them motherfucking reaction channels to look at themselves and look at the shit that I'm saying about them, because it's absolutely true. They try to dodge it, be like, I don't really watch Yo Mama, I don't care. But then when Foodie Beauty play it, it forces them to watch it. You know what I'm saying? And it forces them to see themselves.
Has anybody
the kind of arguments that I make, the kind of arguments that you make, the reason why these reaction channels are so afraid of their audience, their own audience being exposed to it, it's because once you hear these facts out of someone's mouth, it very quickly becomes self-evident that it's the truth. It allows for people to remove the blinders that they've put on themselves, and that they've told themselves these people are great because we hate the same person. That's why they're so afraid. That's why they try to silence. It's like it's a whole fucked up thing.
Right. And it was funny because what's funny, I know, and probably Sam is watching though, but damn, Sam, you didn't let me up on panel. You said it was an open panel and anybody can come up. I was backstage for 30 minutes. Then when she had that open panel, I was backstage. I was waiting. And guess what?
Nova says Peanut's first channel was kicked for being worse than any of the people she is so adamantly against. It's hilarious. Wasn't she kicked for harassment and bullying? Crazy.
Where I was at when I was asking her to let me on panel.
Where?
I was at Sam's.
Yeah, dude, did she ever drop the link? Were you waiting in the studio?
Yeah, I was
What?
in the link.
So
Alright,
she
yes.
dropped the link.
When
She
did
just
we get
never
to the
fucking
bean part?
added you.
She even
I think
said
it's
it
right
on her
after-
stream. She said,
I think it might have been right after your mama left. Let's see.
Wants to blame everybody but herself.
yeah. And then she tried to blame it on like Belinda, that Belinda's the reason why Yaba and Sam are just losing everything. And I was like, man, Belinda had your back like crazy.
No one
Because
cares.
you sent me a
That's a blog
screenshot.
spot.
I can't
That's a blog
interact
spot.
with this.
Somebody tell me what a blog spot is. I'm old. What's a blog?
About he is absolutely morally consistent when it comes to these things and his feelings on them. And
Okay,
I gen-
this is after. There we go.
Would have protested
And
if
dude,
I
listen,
were
I
there.
love him and he's hysterical and I believe he's coming from a good place. But he also said that he, in school himself, read a book, yet can't remember the title or the author. Ay, ay, ay.
This is my listen. Like I said, she has to choose her battles. Should she have stopped using it 100%? But at the end of the day, she has a right to if she wants. And people need to make a decision. Do you want to live this outraged about someone who doesn't matter? Or do you want to be this outraged about a politician who talks like this, right? A prime minister, somebody who matters that speaks like this. I mean, no offense, Chantel.
I agree with that. That part I do agree with. Shouldn't really care that much about people who say shit. This is exactly the argument that we kept using about people who say racist things on the internet. Excuse me. I'm not going to sit here and be angry every time one of y'all drop the hard ER and everything. That's just going to fuck my health and life up. So I'm going to, like Gigi's right about that one. It doesn't really affect me. It doesn't. But like I said, you calling your mama the hard ER, it doesn't only affect him though. Now, whether it's up to me on whether I go ballistic and how far I go about it. Like, of course, when I see that stuff, it's not like it does nothing. But as you've been on here for a while, you kind of expect it, so you can kind of just gloss over it. But no, you don't have to sit there and rage about it. You don't have to be like some of these people on here who sit there and get angry and ruin their whole day just because they're mad about what Feudy Beauty or somebody on here said.
But I don't. People like if Chantal started calling everybody F-gots tomorrow, and everybody was like, "Gigi, could you believe it?" I would be like, "What do you want me to do about it?"
Right.
I don't watch her, and there's a lot of ignorant people in this world. You can't fix them all. You can't. So you can
Make
choose
fun
to
of
be
them and
outraged
move
over the
on.
ones who don't matter, or be outraged over the ones who do and make a difference. Is that making sense, or am I too stoned?
Okay, listen to this part.
That makes sense. That made sense,
Listen
right?
to this. Fairy tales as
I tried.
propaganda. European goblins existing within various folk tales did not spring up out of the blue. Folklore and cultural stories are often rooted in the values, morals, and systems in place in these communities. When the word goblin was created, anti-Semitism was rife within Europe. Perhaps the most common argument of why goblins as a whole cannot be anti-Semitic is that goblins originate in 14th century Europe. While this is wholly inaccurate, as we've already described, let's look at Europe. See, this is an opinion piece. This is absolutely somebody's opinion. They're not even citing their sources. Image entitled "The Swine as a Jewish Foster Mother" from the 18. Okay, this is a site. This is a source cited. Thank God. The Swine as a Jewish Foster Mother from the 1800s via the Holocaust Memorial Museum. But this has nothing to do with goblins. This is the swine as a Jewish foster mother. This is about a pig being depicted, not a goblin. So I don't understand. To me, it's very deceptive for you to cite your source under what I just read about mythical creatures.
I'm gonna leave that one alone because I was saying that it was brought up, later on. Something that John had showed me spoke something about it, but I'd rather read up on it before I start saying things.
And then you put a picture of swine being depicted. We're talking about mythical creatures, I thought.
At the end of the day, we cannot control her.
Right, Marty, she never cites her
Jewish people were
sources.
offended by her saying that, and I've seen Jewish people on Twitter, like Dead is one of
Dude,
them.
and
That's her,
also-
that's her name in hold on, that's her name in chat. Who said she's not offended by them? But at the end of the day, there's always going to be somebody on this earth who's going to offend you by being ignorant. You have a choice to be upset and obsess over it and cry about it daily, or just say, you know what, I'm not giving that person energy. If you continue giving Chantal this energy and it keeps you enraged 24/7, I'm sorry to tell you, but Chantal wins.
This is just crazy. Like, I want to know, the person who sent me this, did you even read it? Did you even read it? Or did you think that the title, did you just read the title and then assume that it was agreeing with what you're saying? Because the more I read and the more I see, it's proving my point.
See, Dead, I do pay attention to you. Don't say
entirely.
Don't say I don't listen to you, Dead. I do pay attention.
And I just want to say also, I want to make it very clear
Here we go.
that I, as a human being, I understand why Jewish people, for those who actually are genuinely offended, I understand why a people who throughout history have been nothing but persecuted, prosecuted, and fucking eradicated, to be fucking honest and frank, I understand why people would be, you know, sensitive to anything that sounds like it could be anti-Semitism. However, my point in this space and the people I've seen speaking the loudest and trying to weaponize this shit against Chantel dishonestly, I do not believe their intent. I do not believe that they're genuinely offended.
So she knows Feudy Beauty's intent, and then these faceless, nameless people that she doesn't fucking know, doesn't know their history, doesn't even really know where they're from or anything, but she knows their intent also. They're just the all-seeing eye of Peanut, right? Does she have, like, is that the nut power? Like, you just can feel everybody's intent, like, cause you wrapped up in the shell or something, you can just feel the vibrations. What are you talking about, bitch? You don't know what anybody's intent is. Why are you over here talking about it definitively like you know for a fact? You don't fucking know, and you can never know. It's like when people say, well, Chantel is not a real Muslim. That's not fucking up to you. You can be mad about her being Muslim and all that other shit that you want to, but it's not really up to you, and you don't really know if she actually believes it or not. I'm sorry. You can, now there are things that she can say and do where you can say, you know, it leads me to believe that she's not. Now that's fair. And you're like, you know, you think in your head, you're like, I don't really think that she is. That's fine. But when you're talking about it, don't sit there and act like you know that that's true, because you don't. And you always have to leave that room open to be wrong.
Anyway.
I mean, I think some of them could possibly be.
I don't, because another thing too.
It could be at least one.
Here's the thing, while I understand as a human being why someone may, as a Jewish person, be offended, you also, in the same breath, you don't have the right to not be offended by somebody who is not talking to you.
You don't have the right to not be offended? Are you sure you said that right? You don't have the right to not be offended. Am I tripping? Maybe.
Offended, you don't have the right to not be offended by somebody who is not talking to you and does not have anything to do with anti-Semitism, with their intent of why they said it.
So like I said,
that's really entitled for you to show up to somebody's door and think you can police how they're gonna talk and how you feel about it.
When you're speaking publicly, so it wouldn't be at their door. If I'm out and about at the basketball court and some white dude just like, yeah, nigga, and blah blah. If me and the other niggas around, the other black dudes around, have a problem with him saying it, he either gonna have to stop saying it, or there's gonna be some issues. We're not gonna sit there and play ball with you. We might fuck you up, and then we're not gonna be associated with you anymore. I also have a choice. It's my right to choose who I talk to and don't talk to, and who I associate with. So if you have certain beliefs or you act a certain way and I don't want no parts of you, I don't have to really deal with you. And like I said earlier, if you calling him a nigga, you gonna call me a nigga, and that's not okay with me.
Click off.
It's like
Turn
I said,
the video off. Walk away. You have that choice always.
Words are your rights, and you can't tell somebody it's not their right. They have no right to use the word. She does. So if you can stay mad, I guess, or just fucking find something else that bothers you about her. Or just don't watch her. That's whatever. It is what it is. I'm tired. Well, I'm gonna watch DC tomorrow. I don't know if Pistachio's gonna continue, but holy shit, I'm tired.
That was a good one.
Okay, this is the one that I was aware of. I'm glad this is
so
in here.
ignored.
I'm sorry. I'm keeping on reading this thing that someone sent me. Fuck you.
That's what I just did.
Here's another one. This is the one that I was thinking of. A Nazi-era children's book that was circulated by the Nazi youth. This is about. It's a mythical creature. It's a poison mushroom, though.
The point is, you believe that, and there are people who believe it is, and you guys are.
It's called. The title of the story is called "The Poisonous Mushroom."
Hey, but you two are not going to come to that agreement. Like, it's just not going to happen. You two groups. So it is what it is, and Chantal has decisions to make too. Fight with people or bow down and accept it. And if she chooses to fight with people, the audience then has the choice. Watch or don't watch. Like, everybody's got choices, bitches. There was a YouTuber that I really enjoyed watching. I'm not even gonna say who it is. He was kind of famous-ish, and he got some shit came out about his past that was really bad. And you know what I did? I just unsubscribed. Like, that was it. I haven't thought about him since.
Griffin Doggo said, as a human being, no, I thought I was talking to a dog. You're a human too? Wow.
Yes, I haven't every day said, God, everybody in the world needs to be reminded of what this man did. I just unsubscribed.
Who are you talking about, though?
His name was Feature Man. You remember him? Feature Man? He was an old guy who did food reviews. Turns out he, in the 70s, people in chat are about to be like, yes, oh my God. In the 70s, he was caught, he went to children's hospitals, and just, you get my drift. And that came out, some guy with long black hair made the video. He's famous. What's his name? I can't remember his name. And I saw that video, and I was like, oh, maybe your channel is next. Was like, did you hear about Feature Man? I think it was him. And I said, no. And I said, oh my God, did he pass away? I was devastated. And he's like, no, worse. And then I looked, I was like, oh, unsubscribe. And that was it.
Yo, your channel.
Somebody's your channel is next is calling Pistachio out. Let me read it before she does. Pistachio can understand that, but someone being offended by being called a beaner, she doesn't understand.
Channel's next. He says Pistachio can understand that, but someone being offended by being called a beaner, she doesn't understand. I never said I didn't understand it. I said the people that I know personally they don't function like that.
But they don't speak for everybody. That's the point. They try
No.
to you.
I don't claim. That's not my claim.
I've been telling y'all this for the longest time. Y'all don't have real Mexicans in New York. I've told you this over and over again. Okay, look what y'all had. Y'all had Tekashi 6ix9ine. Y'all don't have real Mexicans out there. Y'all have Tekashis in New York. If you ever run across a real Mexican, call them a bean. They will fuck you up. Yes, it's a racial term. Where is she getting this? You don't think Sambo is a racial term? You don't think bean is a racial term? What are you talking about? Who have you been around? Who taught you how to say homie? Who says kid? Do you have black friends? How many Mexicans do you know? Ain't no way that you just know one or two. Cause if you know 1, 2 Mexicans, then you don't know no real Mexicans. Cause they ain't never come in 1s and 2s. I can say that I'm related to Mexicans, okay? Them is my peoples, like by blood. This is fucking ridiculous. How do you not? I didn't know that there were parts of this country where people didn't know that that was a derogatory term for Mexican people. That's crazy to me. Like, there are a bunch of other ones that are there's a reason why I'm not really comfortable saying the word myself, even though I'm also Latino, is because I'm not Mexican. There are some that are very specific for just Mexicans, not even Latinos, Mexicans. BGTV said she's probably from Staten Island. She sounds just like Trolla, right? They both say homie, kid. I guarantee you she says nigga in her off time. How much y'all want to bet? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Peanut says nigga. Put a 2 if you don't think she ever says it. I guarantee you that when she sings along to her favorite song, she says nigga all the time. That nigga says nigga all the time. Monty said, did you say Takashi's? If so, can I just use this opportunity to say that's not a Japanese name at all? If it's meant to be, he messed up one letter. It's funny to us. Really? Is the A supposed to be an I? Is that what it is? Am I close? Or is it the E? It's either the A or the I that needs to be switched out, right? That's hilarious. Ooh, already getting someone's in here. Get the fuck out, Red Shot.
When I talk, I say the people that I know personally, they don't function that way. That's actually why I asked YoMama. I said, do you know a lot of Mexican people? Do they feel this same way as all of the Mexican people I've had this conversation with? He said, no, his wife absolutely would be offended. I've never claimed that all people. I said just the people that I've had the conversation with, that I know personally.
I think those people have to be that way to be your friend. I think they have to not care about the racist tropes and things like that. I think that's the only way you could be cool with negs for so long, is that you kind of just let shit roll off your shoulder, like right. And that's also anecdotal. Like, that's just the people that you know. The people that you know don't represent everybody else. Just like earlier when I said that I personally never heard that, and when I looked it up, I didn't see it used as a slur. But if other people are like, well, hey, you know, there are people out there, there are Jewish people out there who, you know, if you say this to them, they'll take it as a slur. Like, that's just what it is. That my experience isn't the same as everyone else's. That's why anecdotal evidence doesn't exactly fit for everyone.
Comes down to, I don't even know. Does it even matter anymore?
I don't know. What Big Shirl is thinking?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't know who the fuck Big Shirl is. I ain't really watched none of that other shit. But I think we're about done here, folks. I don't know. Catch me another time, sometime. I don't know. I should probably set like actual times and dates and stuff, but I never do. It don't work out too bad for me though, right? I don't know. I don't know what else to say. We got shit coming up this weekend. I don't know if we're doing stuff today. I don't fucking know. I don't know nothing. All I know is that I got shit to do. I got pissed. Other stuff. Hungry. So I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. I'll catch y'all. Hey, somebody got a J out your lane? Hey, somebody got a J out your lane?
Can I offer you a lift downtown?
Hey, somebody got a J out your lane? Hey, somebody got a J out your lane?
I'm a rolling stone. I'm too high for you to own. In a whip that's meant to speed. If I hurt you, would you leave? I learned the game from some heavyweights. Catching buses, making change from another blade. I still got demons from my younger days. I wish I could shake them, but they follow me. I wish I could take it easy, but this fans watch. That's my mama, I've been hustling since the sandbox. I'm a rolling stone.
I feel that you're someone I really know.
I'm sorry in advance if I let you down. I'm sorry in advance if I let you down. Bitch, you just spilled Louis 13 on Mama Queen.
Damn. Back the fuck
I got all this pimp shit up in my jeans. Ooh. Blame that on my mother. I can't go nowhere that's less than peace. My lovers on trouble. First I'm exciting, then I'm gaslighting. Make up your mind. I'm rich as fuck and I ain't nothing at the same time. People hate me and they love me at the same time. I guess I'm everything and nothing at the same time. I'm sorry in advance if I let you